Field Mouse Patronus. These people are extremely loving and kind. They represent people that are very good listeners. They're usually able to tell fairly quickly what's wrong with situations and can tell people's feelings around them. They are very warm in nature. Unfortunately, because they are so quiet, this can lead to others pushing them around. But don't mistake a Field Mouse Patronus. Ilias is a story of a boy who saved an entire village with his Field Mouse Patronus. This Patronus is commonly found in Hufflepuff, but can be found in other houses. The story of Ilias goes, he was a shy, poor orphan boy that lived in a wizarding village in the mountains. Around the village forest was a dark wizard, Ragzidian. He resided in the Black Castle. The castle was guarded by Dementors. For years, a truce existed between the villagers and Ragzidian, that Ragzidian would not attack the villagers if they stayed out of the forest. Because of the potential danger, the villagers taught themselves the Patronus charm to defend off Ragzidian's Dementors. Despite not every villager being able to master the charm, many felt they could defend themselves. Ilias turned 17 and was taught the Patronus charm by the other villagers. He produced a full corporeal Patronus, but to his humiliation, it took the form of a mouse. The villagers laughed at Ilias and told him never cast that spell again. Time passed and Ragzidian noticed that a young girl, Eliana, a beautiful girl who lived in the village. Ragzidian decided he would make Eliana his ideal wife. Ragzidian sent a demand to Eliana's parents, but they refused consent. The villagers agreed to fight Ragzidian off. Eliana was sent to Ilias's shack, and Ilias was told to sit out the battle and aid her due to the weakness of his Patronus. The villagers fought well against the Dementors with boars, bears, and wolves Patronuses, but were eventually overtaken by Ragzidian's Dementors. Their Patronuses grew faint, and the casters collapsed and eventually fled. Ragzidian attempted to retrieve Eliana as the Dementors swarmed the village, but Ilias casted his mouse Patronus. Despite its diminutive size, the mouse showed what brilliant light that it can bring and fought off the Dementors to a halt as it nimbly moved through the ranks of the fleeing villagers. Enraged, Ragzidian decided to engage in combat and stop Ilias's Patronus. He attempted to cast a Patronus charm, but failed to remember that only the pure of heart can produce a Patronus. For the first time in history, we saw what happens when someone who is not pure of heart tries to produce a Patronus. Maggots gushed out from the end of Ragzidian's wand and devoured him as they engulfed his entire body. Ilias was hailed a hero and married Eliana, and from that day forward, the most esteemed Patronus was the Mouse Patronus. Ilias is noted for being courageous and fighting off an entire army of Dementors. Thus, the story is one of the first recorded stories of a famous Patronus charm used. This story is found in the Wonder Book of Spells and Pottermore.com. The story shows people with mouse Patronuses can be very brave and have the power to fight off any threat. If you have a Patronus, drop it in the comments below. I would love to hear yours. If you would like to know more about Harry Potter and the Wizarding World lore, subscribe to Chase and Josh Factor Fantasy Podcast. The link is in the bio, or you can subscribe to Ridiculous Patronus on YouTube. Thank you, everyone. Have a magical week.